up, guys? It is Monday. I'm staying just a few minutes tonight. I got my injectors back from being cleaned by Fuel Injector Clinic. Anytime the car is down for a longer period of time, I try to send them in to be cleaned. The heat just cut on, of course. Let me show you what I got going on. So here I have my BTR Trinity intake manifold. And like I said, Fuel Injector Clinic 2150s. I'm a big fan of quality injectors. I know some guys, say a lot of these companies are the same thing but cheaper, but I don't believe that. And I know from experience it's not. I've had multiple cars that cheaper injectors just would not work. And that's why now, like, anymore, if a car comes in with something like snake eater injectors and stuff like that, I won't even do it. And once again, I know some guys will be like, oh, I've never had an issue. Don't really care about your experience. But that's why I like quality stuff, and especially on stock ECUs. Stock ECUs, it matters a whole lot. The Holley and standalones, and in general, you can fudge stuff a bit more. Stock ECUs are a lot more particular on that. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do real quick tonight is I'm gonna throw these injectors in, just so this will be done and out of the way. There we go. Injectors are in, plugged up to the sub harness, which is I made that last year after I had a failure with the other one due to the angle it was at. That's why it's got some length to it, so I don't have to worry about that happening again, putting pressure on the connector. But that's in there. Not the most time-consuming job, but anything I can do to get ahead of the game. That way, when I'm ready to drop this thing all back in, it's one less thing I have to do. Morning, guys. It's Tuesday morning. Woke up with a text from Alan over at Mean City Cycle saying my headrest was done, and I went and picked it up. He did a killer job. I told him to put his logo on it, but he said he's not trying to advertise because this is not something they offer to the public, so I'm lucky that he likes me. But I'm gonna bolt this thing in real quick before we open. There we go, guys. Simple and comfortable. I just hopped in there and I'm digging it. Obviously it looks a little off center because it's even with the seat, of course, but the bar is just the way this thing was built. But cool, there's that. So that's one more thing off the list, and on to the next stuff. What is up, guys? So I got a little surprise for you. I'm just getting back from BTR, and I've got some cool stuff under the bag here. So let's see what we got. This is what we had back there, guys. You can see the block looks a little bit different. There's the LAT block right there. This block was still healthy. Everything in the engine was still healthy. I went with a good friend to Noonan, and they had an LT block in stock, and it made the decision really easy. We've been chasing weight this year, yeah, so this was like the big thing to do between the ballast and the rear. And I'm hoping that we'll end up being around 230, 250 lighter than we were last year. And that's going to be awesome. Not to mention this block itself will be stronger, which once again, that block hasn't failed yet, but it is a stock casting. 1/2-inch head studs along with the 3/8 outer perimeter studs. There's no inners on this particular heads. If you had LS heads on it, you could have inners. Flat out gaskets again, and the same exact internals from last time. So we're still 416, still hydraulic roller, just raised cam. So we had to change the retainer plate for the camshaft and the timing chain. Reed at BTR, BTR in general, they took care of me on this deal as far as getting it assembled. And I can't, thank them enough for that. They are stand-up guys. The LAT ran awesome with what we had, and this setup right here should allow us to make more power, just so I can, for one, just push it a little harder. But I wasn't done pushing the LAT block yet. It's just we just ran out of season, honestly. But so this is why the engine hasn't been back in the car. Same rod, same piston, same crank, same camshaft, like I said. It's just now we have, if we make more power, it would be just because we have better ring seal due to less flex, because it got some heavy duty sleeves in this thing. This whole block is a work of art. I wish I would have had time to make a video of what we got, just so you guys could have seen. But it was just very much picked up on a Tuesday, drove up there on a Friday, dropped it off in the snow, and then just drove up here again a few weeks later.
and here we are. So, but I'm gonna start switching some things over. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning, so I'm not gonna get a whole lot done, but I'm just getting this thing closer to be ready to drop in tomorrow. But I am pumped to hear this thing run.
So here we are on the stand. I didn't take any videos last night because I was just clamoring to get work done. I was very tired and just trying to get some stuff knocked out. Got the oil pan RTV'd on. All the stuff transferred over right here. Got the rear cover on. Now what I have to do, so I don't know what size this fitting is right here. I researched it before I got the engine back and couldn't figure it out. So what I'm gonna do is, apparently I'm going to lose the fitting that I was going to show you. Let me find it here. Found it. All right, so this guy right here, before, this is how I filled the engine, was I had a plug on the valley cover and I just used vacuum on the valve cover and sucked oil through there because these heads drain slow. So I'm actually going to take this cover off of here and I'm going to weld this to it, and then I'm going to plug this oil port, and this is also an oil port as well. Plug it and then plug this back here, and then back here, this is the high pressure fuel pump area, which I don't have one, so it'll be blocked off. I got to clearance it for this adapter for this oil pressure sensor, and then I'm going to put a hole in the plate there so I can put my crankcase pressure sensor in that. All right, guys, Jordan and I have been grinding pretty hard the past couple hours. It's about 2 o'clock now, and this thing is ready for the first startup. I ended up not welding this shut because I just don't want to, but I found the fitting that'll go in there. So I've got that coming, along with some other fittings. But all right, let's see what we got.
So we got it running. It's got a surge to it. It's really weird to idle, so I've been trying to work that out. So I didn't get a video, just trying to mess with that. Oil pressure's great. I'll let it warm up, about to fire it up again, and hopefully I switched fuel, make sure the fuel I put didn't somehow get contaminated. But switch fuel, and I want to see if hopefully that's what the problem was, and now if it will not have that surge to it. So let me see what I got.
So this is no front end. It's in the back of the shop, and with some of the stuff that's around it, I don't know if I can actually get it out without destroying it in the process. But I'm gonna try just so I can see for sure. But the front end's 50 pounds for reference. I'm more curious about how it'll affect the ballast than anything. Probably another 1% on the nose, if not 1.5. But nonetheless, this is awesome. I was hoping to be around 2480. That being said, it may still want 25 to 50 pounds of ballast in the rear, and there may be some stuff I can do as well. I need to look at the suspension and stuff like that. But this is a pretty solid loss. I mean, we're talking with the front end, we should be roughly 270 pounds without ballast, lighter than last year. And with this combo, that is going to be awesome. Got the lines on. Between the lines and these low dollar quick disconnects I bought almost 2 years ago and never used, it was worth almost 2 pounds. So besides the added safety of the actual crimped lines, you know, it's nice to get that little benefit as well. And plus this right here will be a little, honestly a little easier to disconnect than what we usually use. So in that video you saw, that was the
hit the oil pressure safety. I knew I should have jacked the front up, but I was just trying to be in a hurry, and it ended up, doing what I thought it would do, which is as the run goes on, with the car tilted down and the way the external pump picks up, it sucks the sump dry. So so that ended up causing it to hit the safety up top. That being said, it made good power for 20 pounds. That's what I was on. And now I've just got another oil leak. I think there's either an issue. I don't know. There's a couple of variables, but I think I'll get it this time for sure. Just a little bit more work. Thankfully, it's not that bad to do. But I'm about to tear into it again. So thankfully, excuse me, this is why I've been grinding so hard to get this thing ready for the past, feels like, I knew this was my goal, but I really didn't set it till a month ago, and it's been a job for sure to get there, but that's part of it. So anyways, let me start working.